Good day, everyone, and welcome to our discussion for today. Today we are going to talk about uh, reflective practice through performance evaluation. We are your reporters, Kay Abanyal, Daphne Lapina, Renz Kathleen Bunyol, and lastly, Vincent Charles Riaboya. So, to start our discussion, let us first determine our objectives for today. Our objectives first is analyze the role of students as evaluators, and the second one is to assess the performance of the superior as an evaluators within a designated time frame, and the last one is to apply the peer evaluation. But before anything else, let us first define these two terms, namely reflective practice and performance evaluation. So, reflective practice encourages teachers to take time to think back on their lesson plans, delivery, and the way that they handle different situations like children arguing or someone asking a particularly different question. They should evaluate their decisions and their effects in order to work out what's wrong and what needs tweaking. So basically, reflective practice is just like looking back on your teaching to see what worked well and what didn't. So it's about taking the time to think about how you can improve your lessons and how you can handle different situations in the classrooms. Like, for instance, when students are arguing or ask staff questions. So by doing this, you can make your teaching more engaging and effective, which surely helps your students learn better. The next one to define is uh, performance evaluation. So, performance evaluations in a classroom setup refers to the process of assessing and measuring the academic progress, skills, and the overall performance of students. So, it helps educators understand how well students are learning, identify areas of improvement, and provide feedback to support their growth. So, evaluating performance in a classroom means that you are checking how well the students are doing in their learning. So, teachers use this to see what students are good at and where they need help so they can give feedback and help them improve. So we are done defining these two terms. Let us now combine these two. Reflective practice through performance evaluation. So, reflective practice through a performance evaluation in a classroom setting typically involves students critically assessing their own performance and learning through feedback, self reflection, and evaluation. So, it encourages students to analyze their strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement, ultimately fostering a deeper understanding of the subject matter and promoting a continuous growth and development. So, in simple terms, it means that students looking back on how they've done in class, figuring out what they did well and what they didn't, and how they can do better next time. So, reflective practice through performance evaluation is very essential for self awareness. I have said, um, also for personal growth, continuous improvement. It also enhances learning, critical thinking, professional development, and accountability. So it also empowers individuals to analyze their experiences and also make informed decisions and strive for excellence in their respective fields. So that is really indeed a helpful, especially in a context of learning. So these three below, as you can see here in our monitor, in your screen, these are the three areas of the reflective practice rate performance evaluation, namely students as evaluators. The second one is peer as evaluators and supervisor as evaluators. So without further ado, let us now discuss these students as evaluators by my co-reporters.
At this juncture, let us proceed to the students as evaluators. First, let us define what is student evaluation. Student evaluation is an assessment by learners of the service provided by an educational institution, be it solely of the classroom experience or of all aspects of the learning experience. In simple terms, student evaluation is when students assess the educational services they receive. This assessment can focus on just the classroom experience or the entire learning experience. So students can assess just by focusing on the classroom experience alone. This includes things like the teacher's teaching style, the clarity of the lessons, and the usefulness of the materials. On the other hand, students can also assess by assessing their entire learning experience. This goes beyond the classroom and considers things like the quality of the facilities, the support services offered by the school, and the overall learning environment. Furthermore, according to Campbell, students as evaluators is a model for program evaluation. Teachers are always listening to students' opinions, checking for comprehension, and whether they have accomplished a task. This is to say that student evaluation is a valuable tool for program evaluation. When students act as evaluators, students are given the opportunity to assess how well an educational program is working. With this, teachers are constantly gathering information from students to see if they understand the material, and if they are completing the tasks successfully. To put this context into an analogy, imagine you're at a restaurant. You can tell the waiter if you enjoy the food and service, diba? Student evaluation is similar. Students get to give their feedback on the educational meal they're receiving at school. This feedback helps the teachers and the whole school know what they're doing well and where they can improve. Now, we might ask, what are the effective evaluations as students assess and act as evaluators? So, effective evaluations may include student evaluations of classes and schools, student evaluations of teachers, student evaluations of self, and student-led parent-teacher conferences. Now, let us jump in these four categories. First is student evaluations of classes and schools. At this point, students can evaluate things like the teacher's teaching style, the difficulty of the material, the helpfulness of school resources, and even the overall learning environment. Second, student evaluations of teachers. Students typically evaluate teachers through surveys or questionnaires. Remember, every end of the semester, we receive teacher evaluation forms, right? So, it is a form of how students can evaluate their teachers, and a form of how students act as evaluators themselves. This kind of evaluation can be done anonymously or confidentially, which allows students to provide honest feedback without fear of condemnation. So, questions could include: is the teacher clear and engaging? Do they explain concepts effectively? Or is the teacher approachable and responsive to questions outside of class? So, with this kind of assessment, students can with this kind of assessment students can provide honest feedbacks to their teachers without filter, diba? And teachers can benefit for this to improve their teaching, because feedback helps teachers to identify their strengths and weaknesses and allows them to refine. Because feedback can help teachers to identify their strengths and weaknesses and allow them to refine their teaching methods and become more effective evaluators. Moving on, we have the third category, which is the student evaluations of self. Student evaluations of self are all about self-reflection. This means taking a step back throughout one's learning experience to assess one's own progress, strengths, and weaknesses. And methods of self-evaluation could include self-reflection papers, exit tickets, and journals. For example, through a journal, regularly writing about your learning experiences can help you identify areas of difficulty track your track your own progress and solidify your understanding. You can also assess yourself through reflection papers in which you can identify areas of mastery and areas needing improvement. And having a quick, short reflections at the end of a class through exit tickets can help a learner identify key takeaways and areas where he or she might need to revisit the material. So, by actively engaging in self evaluation, students become more empowered and responsible for their own learning journey. As what our own branch director would say, we are built to be self directed learners. And that is an epitome of how student evaluations is effective. Moving on to the fourth category, we have the student led parent teacher conferences. In this category, the student guides the conversation, presenting their work samples to the parents and teachers and explaining their learning journey. So they may discuss achievements and areas for improvement, challenges faced and strategy. So they may discuss achievements and areas for improvement, challenges faced and strategies used, future learning goals while they may discuss achievements and areas for improvement, challenges faced and strategies used, and also future learning goals. And all of these are while parents and teachers and all of these happens while peach and all of these happen while parents and teachers actively participate by asking questions, providing feedback, and offering support. The focus of this evaluation is on developing a shared understanding of the student's progress and creating a collaborative plan for future learning. So, the need for the participation of the teachers and the parents is crucial for this evaluation. And this strengthens the communication and collaboration between the stakeholders, such as the students, parents, and the teachers. Under students as evaluators, teachers might want a variety of evaluations from students, and these may include an occasional large scale forum. Now, what do we mean by large scale forum? Large scale forum refers to an open discussion online survey sent to a large group of students, like all students in a grade level. So to note, large-scale forum primarily provides insights from a broader student population. It collects a wider range of experiences and opinions, which is opposite to individual evaluations that are more specific and particular to each student. Thus, it is important to note that large-scale forum helps in identifying common themes or issues that might not emerge in individual evaluations. And by using this kind of evaluation, teachers can obtain a comprehensive picture of their teaching effectiveness and make informed decisions about how to improve the learning experiences, not just for a group of learners, but for all students. Next, we have creating a regular pattern of evaluative feedback in lessons. So, creating a regular pattern of evaluative feedback within lessons is a valuable tool for teachers because it allows teachers to assess student understanding during the lesson, not just at the end. So, sa type of assessment pa ni, what term do we refer to this kind of assessment? So, if teachers want to assess the students' understanding during the lesson through obtaining their feedbacks. This we can conceive that it is a form of formative assessment. So basically, creating a regular pattern of evaluative feedback within lessons enables the teachers to adjust their teaching approach to address any confusion or gaps in knowledge during the instruction. And by regularly asking students for feedback, keeps them for feedback. It keeps them actively involved in the learning process, and regular pattern of evaluative feedback can be done through quick quizzes or polls, exit tickets, and even think, pair, share.
So next is the peers as evaluators. Peers can be valuable evaluators in assessment, offering different perspectives and insights. When used effectively, peer assessment can encourage collaboration, communication, and critical thinking skills among students. However, it's important to ensure that the process is fair, transparent, and properly structured to avoid issues such as bias or inconsistency. Providing clear criteria and guidelines for assessment can help maintain the integrity of the peer evaluation process. So, the next are the benefits of peer as evaluators. First is the multiple perspectives. Peers can provide unique insights and viewpoints that a teacher or instructor might not consider. For example, in a literature class, peers can offer diverse interpretation of a text based on their own backgrounds and experiences. The second one is the deeper learning. When students are actively engaged in evaluating their peers' work, they often develop a deeper understanding of the subject matter. This happens because they must critically analyze the work of others, compare it to their own understanding, and articulate their evaluations. For example, in a literature class again, students may ask to peer evaluate essays analyzing a novel. By reading and evaluating their peers' essay, students can gain new insights into the novel's theme, characters, and symbols. Next is the third one, the developing critical thinking. Peers evaluation can help students develop critical thinking and analytical skills. By evaluating their peers' work, students can learn to assess strengths and weaknesses in arguments, writing, or presentations. Next is the fourth one, self-awareness. Peers can provide constructive feedback that helps students to improve their work. This feedback, along with self-reflection, can lead to a deeper understanding of the subject matter, and where it helps individuals develop self-awareness by recognizing how their works or actions affect others. And the last one, the fifth benefit, improve collaboration. Peers evaluation encourages students to work together and communicate effectively. For instance, in a group project, peers can evaluate each other's contributions, which can lead to better teamwork and outcomes. Next are the considerations for effective peer evaluation. So the first is training. Before engaging in peer evaluation, students should be trained on how to provide constructive feedback and evaluate their peers' work fairly. This training can include understanding the evaluation criteria, practicing evaluation techniques, and learning how to communicate feedback effectively. Training can help ensure that peers' evaluations are meaningful and beneficial for both the evaluator and the recipient. The second one is the anonymity. Providing anonymity in peer evaluation can encourage honesty and reduce bias. When evaluations are anonymous, students may feel more comfortable providing candid feedbacks without fear or repercussions. However, anonymity should be balanced with accountability to ensure that feedback is constructive and respectful. And last, the third one, focused on behaviors. In peer evaluation, it's important to focus on specific behaviors or actions rather than personal traits or characteristics. Evaluations can be based on observable and measurable criteria such as quality of work, adherence to guidelines, or contributions to a group project. This focus helps keep evaluations objective and relevant to the task at hand. Next is the last part in peer as evaluators, the considerations for effective peer evaluation. First, presentations. In presentations, peer evaluation can provide valuable feedback on communication skills, clarity of message, and engagement with the audience. Peers can offer insights into areas for improvement that might not be apparent to the presenter. The second one is the group projects. Peer evaluation is particularly useful in group projects to assess individual contributions to the project. It encourages accountability with a group and helps ensure that all members are actively participating and fulfilling their responsibilities. Next, the third one, written work. Peer evaluation of written work can help students improve their writing skills. Next is the third one, reading work. Peer evaluation of written work can help students improve their writing skills by receiving feedback on clarity, organization, and argumentation. Peers can also provide suggestions for additional research or ways to strengthen the arguments. Last, the fourth one, performance reviews. In professional settings, peer evaluation can be used as part of performance reviews to gather feedback from colleges. This can provide a more comprehensive view of an individual performance and help identify areas for development.
So now, as your presenter, I'm Vince. I'm gonna present the topic about superior as evaluator. So, what is superior as evaluator? So, it defines as typically refer to a rating or assessment given to someone who has demonstrated exceptional skills or performance in evaluating something such as a project, performance, or product. It and also it signifies an individual has surpassed expectation and excellence in their role as evaluator. So now let's talk about the types of superior as evaluator. So there are um, types. So, number one, constructive feedback. The superior constantly provide detailed constructive feedback to subordinates or to those students. And also, they giving feedback to help the student or subordinates to improve and to master the things that they didn't master. Second, professional growth. So the superior actively engage the subordinates in discussing about the career goals and development plans. Supportive guidance was offered to help subordinates achieve their objectives. So number three, the fairness and impartiality. The fairness and impartiality. So it is the evaluation process appear fair and impartial with assessment based on the merit and performance rather than professional bias. Subordinates express their satisfaction within the fairness of evaluations. So that is the part of superior as evaluator. So the others, number one, continue training. Encourage the superior to participate in training programs, focus on effective feedback delivery and performance evaluation technique. Number two, feedback mechanics. Implement regular feedback mechanics where subordinates can provide anonymously feedback on the evaluation process. Number three, recognition of best practice. Recognize and award instances where the superior demonstrate exceptional skills in providing constructive feedback and facilitating professional growth.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for listening and be with us until the end. So, this is our team and this is our references. So, do you have any questions, clarifications, or any violent reactions? Because if not, then let's end this discussion. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening.